Hello everyone. Now as you can see, the topic of this video is presentation of solutions of simple trigonometric equation. Here you can see two equations, sin x equals half and sin x equals minus half. Let's first focus on their principal solutions. Principal solutions of these equations are the values of x which lies from 0 to 2 pi, where 0 is included but 2 pi is not included. If I focus on this as it is positive, that means the solution of this equation lies in the first and second quadrant because it is sin x. And if I focus on the value half, that means the angle involved is pi by 6. So one solution is pi by 6 in the first quadrant, and in the second quadrant it is pi minus pi by 6. As we cannot call it pi by 6, it's a different position. It's pi minus pi by 6. So this is your pi by 6. Okay, and this is also pi by 6, and this position is called pi by 6 position, and this is called pi minus pi by 6 position. Just to represent this position, we use this angle only. So this angle is pi minus pi by 6. So principal solutions are x equals to pi by 6 and pi minus pi by 6, which is actually equals to 5 pi by 6. Similarly here, in this, sin x is minus half. Negative sign tells us that the principal solution which lies between 0 to 2 pi, the solution for this equation lies in the third and the fourth quadrant, because in the third and fourth quadrant sign is negative. So this negative sign takes us to third and fourth quadrant, and this value takes us again to pi by 6. So pi by 6 in the third quadrant and pi by 6 in the fourth quadrant. So as this is 1 unit, so this is half, this one and this one. That means this is pi by 6 and this is pi by 6. These both are pi by 6. But this position is called pi plus pi by 6. And this is called, you may call it, it can be named by this angle, but easy to be named from this, 2 pi minus pi by 6. So here your principal solutions are pi plus pi by 6 is 7 pi by 6, and 2 pi minus pi by 6 is 11 pi by 6. So these are the principal solutions. Now coming over to the these general solutions. So as we discussed earlier, for the sine wave, general solution can be represented by this formula. Sorry, minus 1 raised to power n, and then it's theta. So for each, it's for the sine functions, and for each value sin x equals to anything, so this theta is to be chosen carefully. Okay, in this case, what should we choose the theta? This one or that one? Ideally both of them will work. How come? Suppose, let's take this as the case 1 and this is the case 2. For the case 1, we can write it as x equals to n pi plus minus 1 raised to power n and pi by 6 also. And we can also write it x equals to n pi plus minus 1 raised to power n 5 pi by 6 also. Both works. How come? When x is 0, when n is 0, this is pi by 6. So when n is 0, pi by 6 takes us to this position. When n is 1, this will reduce to pi minus pi by 6. So this is pi minus pi by 6. When n is 2, it takes us to 2 pi plus pi by 6. So again this position after one rotation. Okay, so this is working. Now let's focus on this. When n is 0, then your value of x is 5 pi by 6, means this position, means now this position. When n is 1, then it takes us to pi minus 5 pi by 6, means pi minus 5 means you have to move 5 pi by 6 backwards. So it will take us to this position. And when it is 2, let's be 2 pi plus 5 pi by 6, means 2 pi is this position plus then this position. When it is 3, 3 pi minus 5 pi by 6. Okay, so you can use any of these angles, but it's okay. Why not we work with a simple angle? This simple angle which is pi by 6. So conventionally it is taken. Not conventionally, but this is taken. We may use this also. Okay. Similarly here, in case 2, x is equals to n pi plus minus 1 raised to power n. You can use this also and that also. And if you work it out as I worked it here, so you'll see that this and this formula, either this or this. So this formula also will take you this and this point alternatively in every rotation, and this also. So usually we take the formula with the smaller angle. Okay. Now you all could do this because you do have too much visual understanding. Okay, but you cannot make these means if it is a 1 mark question or whatever, you cannot go in too much detail. So here are some presentation method for this only. Let us do it here. Sin x equals to half. So now we'll learn the presentation for this. Presenting any mathematical question means talking in terms of maths language. So when we proceed, when we express our ideas, we must justify every equal to sign. Okay, so how should we proceed? Sin x equals to half. We must justify this implies sign also. Sin x equals half means implies sin x equals sin pi by 6. Nothing wrong. We're not, this equality is justified, means sin x equal to in place of half we have written sin pi by 6. There's nothing wrong. Okay, sin x equals to sin pi by 6. Now sine of some angle is equals to sine of pi by 6. How can we read it as? Sine of some angle is equals to sine of pi by 6. Okay, so sine of two angles is same if the angles are same. Can we equate x equals to pi by 6? Not at this stage. If we would be in class 10, then we would have written, because the range of our angle was from 0 to 90. So if here sin x equals to sin pi by 6, means the ratio of p to h with respect to x and ratio of p to h with respect to pi by 6 are same. That means x belongs to all the categories of solutions, which gives us half. So at this point we can write therefore, which implies x is equals to n pi plus minus 1 raised to power n pi by 6. So we are actually talking through our presentation. Sin x equals half means sin x equals sin pi by 6. If sin x is equals to sin pi by 6, that doesn't only mean x equals to pi by 6. It can be x equals to pi by 6, but there are many more. This means x belongs to all the family which has half, means the family of pi by 6. Okay, so that family is this. Okay, and if we have the question sin x equals minus half, then again what can we write? Sin x is equals to, in place of minus I have written minus, and then in place of half I have again written sine pi by 6. So I'm presenting it, I'm justifying every equality. Sine x equals minus half. Wait, let's begin now. Sine x equals minus sine pi by 6, which means, so sorry, I was just, I have maintained every equality is maintained. Sine x equal minus, and in place of half I have written sine pi by 6, so nothing wrong in this. Now here I cannot work with this equality because there is negative sign. Here we could work out because sine x equals sine pi by 6, that means x and the family of pi by 6 are same. But here this negative sign is hindering me. So what should I write? So sine x minus sine pi by 6. Minus indicates it is in the third or the fourth quadrant. Okay, so here I can write, at least I can write sine of pi plus pi by 6. No? Minus sine pi by 6 means sine of pi plus pi by 6. This we have done in the previous module. So which implies sine x is equals to sine 7 pi by 6. Now we are at the same position as we were here. Sine x sine pi by 6. And here sine x equals sine 7 pi by 6. So which implies x not only equals to 7 pi by 6, but x is equals to n pi plus minus 1 raised to power n and 7 pi by 6, the family of this. Okay, so this is how you should present it.